Welcome to the episode 3 of the grand epic Mahabharata, where timeless tales of valor, destiny, and cosmic justice unfold. As we learned in the previous episode, while visiting the mortal realm, Vasu succumbed to greed and stole the divine cow, Nandini, from Sage Vashisht. Furious at their transgression, Sage Vashisht cursed the Vasus. As soon as the Vasus learned of the curse, they came running to Rishi Vasistha to try and pacify him. After many attempts, they managed to get the Rishi to pronounce that 7 of them would be freed from their mortal life within a year of their birth. However, the Rishi reserved his anger for Dayu, one of the Vasus, the main culprit. Dayu, the Rishi said, would have to live on earth for an extended period of time. And since he committed this crime besotted by his wife, he would be deprived of female company on earth and could not have children. In all other respects, he would be a very virtuous person. Thus, the first 7 of Ganga's sons were the 7 Vasus who managed to escape mortal life immediately after being born. The 8th, the reincarnation of Dayu, had to stay on earth for an extended period of time as Devavrata, and she told to Shantanu that she will take Devavrata with her now and return him to you later, and then disappeared into the river. King Shantanu returned every day to the river, forever hoping that his wife and son would appear. Then, one day, it happened, Ganga emerged from the river, together with a handsome young man. Your son has learned the Vedas from the Rishi Vashishtha, she said, and Parshuram has taught him the arts of war. Shantanu embraced his son and proclaimed him to be the crown prince, his heir. Ganga then returned to heaven. Years passed, and King Shantanu encountered Satyavati, a fisherwoman with a divine fragrance, ferrying people across the river. Her presence captivated him. Unable to resist his feelings, Shantanu approached Satyavati's father, Dashraja, with a marriage proposal. Dashraja agreed on one condition: Satyavati's future son must inherit the throne. Shantanu, bound by his love for his eldest son Devavrata, left heartbroken. Devavrata saw that King Shantanu was troubled, and Shantanu told his son what had happened. To marry Satyavati, he had to promise that her son, not Devavrata, would inherit the kingdom. Devavrata did not hesitate. I renounce all claims to the throne, he said. But there is also the problem of your sons. Then Devavrata swore a dreadful oath. I renounce all women, and I will never marry. Henceforth he was called Bhishma, meaning dreadful because of this dreadful oath. The gods, in admiration and pity, gave Bhishma the boon of choosing the time of his own death. Shantanu then married Satyavati, and they had 2 sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. When Shantanu died, Chitrangada became king of Hastinapura. Chitrangada was a great warrior, but he died in battle before he could marry and have sons of his own. Bhishma performed the funeral ritual, and then Vichitravirya became king. Vichitravirya was still very young, so Bhishma and Satyavati ruled the kingdom in his stead. The union of Shantanu and Satyavati set the stage for future events that would shape the destiny of the Kuru dynasty. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we delve into the Vichitravirya marriage and Satyavati decisions made impact on Bhishma's role in the Mahabharata.